Live well, be healthy, be great. It's your man, Howard Tyree, and I am thepeoplescoach.com. But more importantly, we are the Seeds Harvest Foundation. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. It was just this particular subject been on my mind and my heart for a while. So I say, you know what? Today I'm going to talk about this. Today. And today's subject is, let's talk about it. Bad children. Bad children. Bad children. Let's talk about it. How many of us have bad, disrespectful, and out of control children? By show of hands. How many of us know someone who has bad, disrespectful, out of control children? By show of hands. That knows someone. There's so many catchphrases out there like the terrible twos. How many of you actually experience the terrible twos? Twos. Terrible twos. It's all out there. We've all experienced it. It's a real thing, right? So, a few things I wanted to challenge you to consider, right? Because I hear the phrase bad children. My children bad is, you know what? You hear that a lot. I hear that phrase bad children a lot. However, the people's coach is big on accountability. And the way I see it, or the way we see it, should I say, is our point of power is when we're able to hold ourselves accountable for everything that's happening in our life. All right? So as a parent, where does that accountability piece fits in? When all the blame is on the child, on the 2-year-old, or the 1-year-old, or the 10-year-old, or the 12-year-old. Let me put it this way. At what point, if ever, do we stop blaming the child for their bad behavior, for that disrespectful behavior, for that out of control behavior? When a 2-year-old, when you take them to the store, the 3-year-old, you take them to the grocery store and they want to grab and touch everything. And then that parent starts to cuss them out like they're a grown man or a grown woman. Right there in the grocery store. You stupid, yeah, 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 yeah. You dumb, yeah, 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 yeah. Just cussing. Profanity. Disrespect to this 2, 3, 4-year-old right here in public. How many times have we seen that? All right. So I say all that to say this. Here's what accountability sounds like. Accountability in terms of parenting sounds like this. There is no such thing as bad children. Now, I know it's not the most popular idea out there, but that's what accountability sounds like in parenting. Accountability sounds like there's no such thing as bad children. That's what accountability sounds like as a parent. Whose responsibility is it to teach our children everything they need to know to be successful in life? Everything. Everything they need to know in life, period. Whose responsibility is it to teach your child everything your child needs to know in life? Whose responsibility is that? I'll wait. Is it the school responsibility to teach your child, our children, everything they need to know in life? Is that the school's responsibility? The school system? Essentially, it's our responsibility as a parent to teach our children everything they need to know. So if they don't know, then guess whose fault it is? It's not even their fault, it's our fault. So the other side to that statement that I mentioned earlier, there's no such thing as bad children, only bad parenting. Now, I know that stung a little bit, but this is a philosophy, an idea that I teach. This is what's in my household. This is the type of conversation that I have with my children. When we look at Dr. Phil, when we look at these different shows with these out of control children, I say, see, Dr. Phil, no. He's coming back around to those parents, all right? Because there's no such thing as bad children, only bad parents and parenting. If that 2-year-old is out of control, guess whose fault it is? It's not the 2-year-old fault. They only been on this earth for 2 years. How can the 2-year-old be expected to know what's best for them? How is the 2-year-old expected to teach themselves what's best for them? No, it's our responsibility as parents. And if that 2-year-old doesn't know, it's because that parent hasn't did their due diligence and making sure that that 2-year-old knows what they need to know. Because it's not the 2-year-old's responsibility, it's the parent's responsibility. No such thing as bad 2-year-olds. But there is a such thing as bad parenting. Right? How many times have you heard someone say, I'm a bad so-and-so parent? They talk about the bad children all day, every day. How many times have you heard some of these same people talk about them being bad parents? It's amazing how often we hear people talk about bad children, but never point the finger at themselves as being a not so good parent. Accountability. How you do anything is how you do everything. See, that's where our point of power is. When we start to accept the responsibility for our entire life. Yeah, it's work. Yeah, but that's where the real shadow work begins. That's how you transform in your entire life. That's where it begins. Facing those hard truths. Looking yourself right in the eye and realizing that it's nobody else that's the problem. It's nobody else holding you back. Once you're able to say that, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. I'm the one holding myself back. It's me. I'm the reason my children are out of control. It's me. It's not my children's fault. As a matter of fact, if I don't instill in them what they need to be successful, I'm doing a disservice to them. I'm doing a disservice to my own children by not teaching them how to be self-disciplined, or be focused, or how to sit down in a chair when they're in school so they can learn. It's not nobody else. It's us. There's no such thing as bad children. Only bad parenting. Let that marinate. I know it's not the most popular thing to consider. And I know it's kind of scary even thinking about it. Because when you look at it from that angle, that perspective, you realize there's a lot more work to be done than just yelling at your child and calling them all type of disrespectful names and belittling names. To you, that may be what you thought parenting was. And I know we don't. None of us have a rule book, instruction manual to becoming a good parent, but we definitely can grade ourselves on the type of parent we are by having these types of conversations with our children and just looking at our children and being honest with ourselves. But if you could understand and grasp this idea that there's no such thing as bad children, there's no such thing as bad children. There is no such thing as bad children. If you can grasp this idea, then you can transform your entire life. All right? Accountability is key. Accountability is key. And by the way, I'm just going to share this with you, my own personal experience. I've never experienced the terrible twos. Never had that experience. There's no room for a 2-year-old to be terrible in my household. No room for that. I actually have never used the word terrible to describe or even towards my children. Never used that word. Never will. There's no need to. I never described them using that word. I never pointed that word at them at anything, at any point in their entire life. And I have 2 daughters. All right? So, live well, be healthy, be great. It's your man, Howard Tyree, and I am thepeoplescoach.com. And I want to encourage you to have a wonderful day. Accountability is key. No such thing as bad children. But guess what? It's definitely room for us to step up as parents. That's your challenge. If your children are going in the direction that you feel they need to be going in, instead of belittling them and disrespecting them and calling them out of their name, how about pick up a book? Learn some new skills. Become a better parent. Talk to somebody. How about sort out your own issues between you and your parents from childhood and grow out of that dark place so that your children can have a different experience than you experienced growing up? All right? I'm the People's Coach. Peace.